The last video I'm going to do in this set of video lectures for this playlist is going to be Convergent Evolution. So let's put that on the board. Yeah, Convergent Evolution. Can you see that? Yeah, that kind of shows up. So, Convergent Evolution. Convergent means going together, okay? Now, we have talked about, a lot of times, we're like, let's see if there's a better marker, I don't know. Cool, I think I got a marker that'll kind of work, we'll see. But, if we've talked about a lot, where we're like, yeah, there's, I don't know, species here, and he branches off, and some become lizards, and some become, I don't know, a different kind of lizard. And then these things branch off over here, and one of these creatures slowly becomes, I don't know, whatever we got. So, we've talked about it slowly branching off, though. That we had a common ancestor a long time ago. In the case of humans, we had a mammal that was on the land. One of those broke off, became a whale, or became like a sea creature again. And the sea creature split off and became like a whale and a dolphin and a porpoise and all these other weird sea mammals. Okay? On the other side of the mammals, we had land mammals. And those things broke off, and one branch over here is humans and all kinds of things. But one of the weird little things that was like a squirrel and it branched off was that's a horrible marker, was a bat, okay? Now, we have talked about evolution that spreads apart and becomes different things. One weird thing that goes on also is if we follow this evolutionary tree like all the way back, way long ago, when things split out of the land, one of these became the lizard branch. And as the lizards split apart, you had dinosaurs, you had all kinds of weird reptiles and amphibians. One of those dinosaurs, or a branch of dinosaurs, evolved into modern-day birds. Because we found dinosaurs that had, instead of scales, they had almost feathery-looking skin on them. And we found a really cool mold fossil of dinosaur skin that looked a lot like this, like feathers. So, we know that dinosaurs eventually turned into birds. We find the bird, and the bird is pretty similar to the bat. Because let's face it, if we have a lot of insects that are up in the sky, flying around, there is a perfect little niche or a nick in the table for something to fit of eating those insects. Now, if they're flying around all the time, you can't eat them unless you're flying too. So, some of the lizards eventually turned into birds that were good at flying around. And we also have, you know, things like an ostrich, which is a big feathery bird, but it doesn't fly. It's a ground bird. But you have some birds that fly around, most of the birds really fly around, and they can eat things in the air and get from one place to another. And bats do a very similar thing. This is not that they started together and became similar, because let's see over here, we would have a lot of different birds all over this place. We'd have a lot of birds. All those birds would be, again, evolution going apart from each other, becoming different kinds of birds. Here, though, when we go from one weird chain over here that ended up with a bat, because it's convenient for that mammal to be able to fly around and eat insects, we also have a bird that flies around and can eat insects or other things in the air. And they came to about the same place. They became a small animal that flies around in the sky. They can have a very similar niche of flying around and eating stuff in the air and flying to get from one place to the other. But they came together. So that is convergent evolution, or evolution that branches together. So, different kinds of birds would be evidence of divergent evolution, or evolution going away from each other. But a bird and a bat that came from different families and now do the same thing is convergent evolution.